Hi guys, and welcome back to my vlog. If you follow me on Instagram, not my personal page but the Wasabi's page, I asked a question to entrepreneurs, and the question went something like, what discourages you as an entrepreneur? So I got a couple of responses that are here with me. And if you're new in business, just stick around and see what other entrepreneurs had to say. Maybe you'll be assisted. If you've been in business for a while, tell us if some of the things that are discouraging other entrepreneurs now were a challenge to you and how you overcame. If you're planning to start a business, please stick around, because people say business is everything, business is all rosy, but actually it's not. So stick around, then see what guys had to say about this. The first thing that I noticed many people had to say was to do with money, and they said it in many ways, but I'll just give a summary. Some talked about capital, and that's a capital you have to put in a business. Others talked about taking long before the break-even point. Break-even point meaning by the time your expenses and your income matches, so at least you're not making negatives. At least even if you're making zero, it's not a negative. A zero is better than a negative in business. Money coming in as it goes out. What I've experienced this all profit going back to the business, and that feel of you're working for the business but you're never in the equation, and your work is just to work for it but never to enjoy the money. You felt that, and I know it can be really discouraging, because even for me sometimes I face it in that I work, I say I have money, but then because it's a growing business and I probably didn't have big capital in the beginning, as the money keeps on coming, again you have to pump it in back. So you feel, you can actually really feel discouraged and feel like you're on the same level financially, even as an individual, from the time you started as a business. So if you're going through it, we are many of us, but eventually it gets better. That's all I'll say. Eventually it gets better, but let me not say eventually for like 2 months, for other people it's been 2 years being in the same cycle. And again, maybe just to say, challenges of a small business may not be the same as challenges of a big business. So you might be in a big business and you're like, what are these guys talking about? As our issues are tax, and you have to pay millions in tax. But let's just appreciate that we all started somewhere. Then money is a real challenge in any business. Number 2, the expenses. As in, sometimes I feel like some expenses smell money. They were never there. The moment you got money, they came. As in, like, I don't know. Some said there are many unforeseen expenses. It's true. Sometimes you think you did your math to the core, yani you are the most accurate person. Then boom, another expense just comes up. You don't know where it came from. Sometimes you have issues probably legally that you need to sort and you even didn't know, so you have to find quite a chunk of money for that. Or even when now you think things are now back to normal, that third week of business, and you think now things are back to normal and your salary is 10. So it just, expenses can really discourage you in a business. You feel like you're working for other people, and sometimes not even expenses for just yourself, it's expenses for the business. And now I feel like it makes it worse if then you have growing demands as an individual, and so as the business desires this, you're also desiring this. And the business is like a baby. It needs a mother. It needs to be nurtured, it needs to be cared for. It's very demanding, and so the expenses can get crazy. So if you're experiencing it, first I'll tell you, try to cut off any expenses that you know of. If it's in your deliveries or logistics, try to clump them together. If it's in another area, I don't know, just try to cut expenses that you have control of, because sometimes expenses come that you can't control. They just come and you have to pay for them, you like it or not. The other one, your team, your employees, your workers, whatever you decide to call them, I call them teammates. Wow, they can, I don't want to sound mean, but I know there are employers who are just bad. Like, guys, you're so bad, even me, I wouldn't work for you. Then there are those who, like, you're so good, you thought you had it figured out, you thought you had a good connection with your team members, but no. A team can really discourage you, especially when you know you can't do everything on your own, and so you need other people. And sometimes it's like they know you need me. And so it can be really discouraging. I'll just mention some of the things people say what people had to say to do with workers and teams. Others said lack of commitment, and I really get it when you feel like your person isn't there fully. and you expect them to deliver some results, but they're not committed to those results. The other one is a dissonance in vision between the entrepreneur and the team. Meaning, as an entrepreneur, this is where you see your business going, but your team doesn't get that vision, and it can be really frustrating because you see, for you work because you know where you want to head, and so it becomes really hard as you try to align your team to the same vision as you have. It can get discouraging. It can get really discouraging. For me, sometimes I feel even for teams, part of it is being a young person and employing older people, and you just, the line of respect and the line of it can be a real challenge. The other one is salaries without performance. And so you've set your targets for your employees. You feel like you've provided things that they need, and they just don't perform. But still, you have to pay them because you're the employer. And guys, it can be discouraging. There are times, I won't lie, especially if you're working for a young entrepreneur, let me tell you, there are times they've paid you and they've been left with nothing. I'll tell you that from experience. There are times you pay people and you're left zero. You're left, the business needs to be paid for what it's done or for its expenses, and you actually still need to pay your workers, and you're just left there at zero. A friend of mine added bad debts. Bad debts. Bad debts meaning you did your supplies as agreed, and if you're a contractor, supply anything, you did your supplies, you did your project, you delivered your things, but you were not paid for them, and maybe bankruptcy happens, or just a bad financial situation. You already did your part, but your debtor is not able to pay you back. It depends again with the industry. For some of them, you'll be like, why do we even give things on credit? There are some industries, let me tell you, that's a standard. They work on a lot of credit bills, so according to your books, you have a lot of money, but the debtors are not yet paying, and it can be really discouraging. I know companies that have shut down because of this. Or even think about Nakumat. Imagine all those suppliers that supplied to Nakumat, and not all of them were big businesses, some were small businesses, and there is Nakumat not able to pay you, and it can actually get frustrating for a business owner. So I tell you, be a bit smart with your business model. Be a bit smart with the arguments you give. I know when some giant companies approach you, you're just sure they're going to pay us. This will be a lot of money. Some pay after 30, 60 or 90 days. This is going to be a lot of money. Fine, now it's 120 days. No money. It's 210 days, no money. 300 days, no money. It's almost a whole year and you still not received money. If you're getting into business, know the industry you're going to, know if they operate on credit basis, and then know how you're going to protect yourself against it. Don't be too careless or too greedy for the money if it's going to hurt you eventually. So just be careful about your industry. Do a good analysis on it. So the other one, I decided to label it as a startup status. There are different definitions of startups, but I get what these people are trying to say. One of them said no physical location, and the other one being not being trusted in the market because you're a startup or a new company. No physical location. Getting a location in Nairobi is damn expensive. It's damn expensive. And so in the beginning, you might not be able to get that location. Some people are fortunate enough to do so, others are not. And so because of that, you feel like you're limited, especially for fast moving goods. You feel like you're limited because if I go to work in clients, I'd be able to make more sales, but I don't have the money to actually do it. If you're in that category, I know there are many people, especially in town, who do drop-offs. So I know there are people who are okay if you just pay them something small, and then you can drop your goods there. For others, I just hold on and be patient and work towards it. Sometimes it's also unsolved. It's actually not necessary to have a physical shop. It doesn't make sense for you at that time. So sometimes I just tell people, don't feel so pressured to do what everyone else is doing. If it actually works so well for you, then it means you're an online business, and go first in fact to one of my videos. I'll leave the link below. And I said the don'ts of online shops. So just make sure you don't do all those things that I tell you not to do, and you'll work well. You'll find your customers coming back. It's actually well with my baby store, and I hope, I just pray for the best for you. And the other, not being known or not being trusted. In Kenya, trust is a big issue. I've said it in one of my videos before. And so when you're a startup and people don't know, it's like they just wait. And that's why sometimes you find even businesses using a lot of money just to buy a page, because people think numbers is equals to, but sometimes I actually click on the followers and I check, like, are these legit people? So I know that comes from the pressure of not being trusted, which can be a big discouragement. Let's work to get out of it. Let's work to improve our businesses. Again, you can't serve everyone. Know who you'll serve. Even as a startup, some people really love startups, some people don't really care, so you can't target everyone in the market. Know who you're going to target, and whoever you target, whoever comes to you, give them the best. Even as a startup, just to give them the best. My last one, some say the government processes and the county council. Let's just have a debate. Who's worse, the police or kanjo? I just know kanjo are like, kanjo can kill your business. Kanjo can just, like, I don't know. They can really choke your business, and it's discouraging. Especially, first, the person who gave this, it's someone I know. And thank you, because it's like you read my mind. For me, I'd say kanjo can discourage you depending on the industry you're in. I know some of you will be like, hey, when do you meet kanjo? Friends, you really do meet kanjo. And kanjo can take all the money you made that week in the name of bills and fines and penalties. You can pay quite a lot of money. Cops are also not the best anyway, if you're being honest. But even in terms of government processes, eCitizen has made things easier. If you're being honest, we don't have to queue anymore. We can always do the registration online. But I know for some people, the processes could take longer than they expect. I know for some, I've had cases of corruption somewhere in between, where you feel like they deliberately delay because you refuse to bribe them. I've had quite a number of cases when it comes to that. And it can really discourage you, especially when you know for you to move forward, there are documents you need or papers you need, and here they are delaying you. Friend, it can be stressful. So I don't know for you what discourages you as an entrepreneur. Feel free, please, to leave them on the comment section below. If you've had any of these challenges and you've been able to overcome, please tell us what you did. If you're a new entrepreneur, please don't be scared. This is life. These are even few challenges. There are so many more that we haven't talked about, but it's good for you to get into it already knowing what to expect and what actually happens in an entrepreneur. You see them smiling, and I saw the other day someone saying entrepreneurs are those people who you see smiling but they go to their bedrooms and just cry. And that can be true. That can even be true for employees, but in young entrepreneurs, I can't talk much about that other side, but it's true. So don't you see them, even for people to get to where they've been, they've actually had to go through so many challenges, through many tests, a lot of discouragement. So sometimes for me, I say decide if it's worth it for you. Decide if it works for you. Decide if you're going to soldier on. You decide, the ball is in your court. But what I can assure you, discouragements are inevitable. As long as you're an entrepreneur, discouragement will come, like it or not. And I'm not jinxing anyone, but it's reality. It's just like life. Things actually do really happen. So thank you so much for watching. See you next week. I've given a shout out immediately after this. Bye bye.